Yum. Hello and welcome to a new video. Apologies for the hair. We just did a dog walk and it's a little cray cray. I am going to see how many items of my wardrobe that I want to fix / upcycle I can do this weekend. If you watched my other video about all the projects I want to do this year, then you know that this is quite a long list. So I'm going to see how much I can tackle of it this weekend and bring you along for the journey. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so first I'm going to be working on these pants that I showed, and they have a ripped belt loop, and I'm going to stitch that, but then I'm going to add some fun color. I thought it might be fun to do it with a little bit of embroidery thread and then do a couple of the belt loops like that. So that way it's a little bit more snazzy. So let's get going with that. Hello, it is now Saturday, and I had planned to do a long day of sewing and getting all this stuff done, but we ended up doing a lot of yard work today, so I'm now showered and in comfy clothes, and I'm gonna get a little bit further on this. So last night I did the yellow, which was the part that had ripped, and then I did the blue, which is in the front, and then I think I'm gonna do this orange on the other side belt loop, and then I was thinking maybe like a really pale pink in the front, like along the pocket opposite the blue. We'll see if I get to that because it will take a little bit more time to do the full pocket as opposed to the belt loop. But and then I'm hoping I can get to at least the buttons, if not the buttonholes, on the sweater tonight, but we'll see. I'm just gonna sit down, get cozy, and put my headphones in, put a little YouTube on, and see how much I can get done. Okay, now I am working on my pullover. So I have 6 buttons and a ruler and a air-soluble pen, and I'm just going to space these out. I might just eyeball it and see what looks good, and then put a dot and then stitch them on, and then I will cut the buttonholes. Hello and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're gonna finish up some of these projects. One of them is a dye job. So I have a white t-shirt that I'm gonna be dyeing brown. And then the other thing is we're going to make some hummingbird food. So just because both of these tasks require the stove, so I figured I would lump them together. Let me go gather my supplies and then we can get started. Okay, I'm also going to put on a shirt that will protect my clothes, just so that if I manage to somehow splash brown dye everywhere, I don't get it all over me. Here is the shirt. It's a little dingy looking, but it is clean and has nothing else. I even untied the little ties so that it can dye evenly. I have dark brown all-purpose dye, because I think that this is cotton. I think so. It says for every pound of dry fabric, use half a bottle of dye with 3 gallons of the hottest water safe for fabric. Add dish detergent, add 1 cup of salt, add dye mix well, and then stir consistently for 30 minutes. Fabric will dry with it, rinse with cool water until rinse water gets clear. Okay, so I have hot water from the tap, but it says for best results to get it to 140 degrees. My thermometer says that it is about 115 right now, so a little bit left to go. I'm gonna pull out my dish detergent and salt and then get everything prepped. And if it's not already clear, this pot is not one that I use for food. It's just a craft pan or pot. This one is fine just because it's gonna have just sugar and water in it. So okay. The other thing we're doing today is making more hummingbird food. This is my old feeder, and as you can see, it's made of plastic. It's quite old and faded, and it's got a bunch of dead bugs in it. And I had been wanting to upgrade our bird feeder for a while, our hummingbird feeder. So I got this cute one. It's glass, and it's got little flowers, and it has a little place for them to rest their feet. The other one, they had to fly while they were eating, so I thought this might be nice to give them a little place to rest their little peetsies. Yeah, so we need to make new hummingbird food to fill this. It's just, the recipe that I found online is to add 1/4 cup of refined cane sugar to 1 cup of boiling water. So we will also be doing that. Almost there. It's like 1:31. Okay, it is time. Dish detergent is in. Now I'm adding the salt. Of course, my water is boiling for the other thing at the exact same time, so I'm going to add that right now too. I think I'm going to add 2 ounces of this, which I'm just going to decide is 2 capfuls. And I should be wearing gloves, but I'm not. Of course. Okay. Paper towel. And then now we are going to submerge this into the dye. And I have my little utensil. And then we're supposed to stir it for 30 minutes. I think that maybe next time I can make more because it only goes about halfway, but good for starters. So I will let this cool and keep stirring. Okay, now I'm going to put my gloves on and rinse the garment until the water in my sink runs clear. Okay, I just finished rinsing it with cold water. I'm gonna let it sit for just a little bit, and then I need to go back in and wash it with hot water by hand, or warm water by hand. But I'm going to go hang the new bird feeder outside. So let's go do that. Okay, so now I have this drying on the drying rack with the tin or the container below to catch the water. So that will dry, and then we'll check in with it at the very end. Welcome back. It is a little bit later, and I really want to try to get all of these projects done tonight. So my dye job shirt is sitting and drying, and I think now is time to conquer my fear and cut some buttonholes. Okay, so let's talk through the plan here. Okay, so I have the buttons already on here, and then I'm going to just fold this over how I like it laying, and then I'm gonna feel for the buttons. Going to mark either side of the button with my air dry pen, and then I'm just going to fold and snip. I think that that's the best way to do this, and then I will go in with a needle and thread and wrap the edges. I'm not too worried about this fraying because it is a like a fleece polyester, you know, material, so it's not gonna fray, but I do want it to look finished. So the real problem here is going to be making sure they're all in a line. So let's see. Okay, that looks like a straight line. So let's do okay, and I'm just gonna draw a vertical line as well. So there's that and that, and then okay, some of these are a little wonky, but that's okay. I'm gonna try to just scoot some of these over just a hair so that they're slightly more aligned. Okay, I'm just gonna do it. Okay, and then I want to make sure I get through to both sides. Okay, so my buttonholes are now snipped, and I will go ahead and start to sew them. Okay, it is some time later. I have finished my fleece, my buttons, and my buttonholes. Not the prettiest job, but I will take it. And now my last project of this video is going to be to get this little guy onto this hat. Even though it has the like wax back on it for the ironing, I'm not gonna do that. I'd rather just stitch it on in case I want to reuse it. So I'm gonna see how easy this is to sew. I might need to pin it in place. It's pretty good. I'm gonna center it on that center seam. I think I'm just gonna call it quits for the night. I just unpicked the stitches I did. I wasn't too happy with the way that they were turning out, and I think I want to use brown thread instead. The black was looking a little too harsh both on the hat and on the little bird. And so I think I will just pick this back up tomorrow and give my eyes a break tonight. But I will check back in when we revisit this. Okay, we are on the final day of this what can I make in a weekend. It has actually been 3 or 4 days, so it's a little bit longer than a weekend, but I'm really proud of the work that we've done. So I really need to get this hat done today and this little guy attached to him. I think that I'm going to use brown thread. I mentioned this last night, and I'm going to try to be a lot more precise with my stitches because they were looking quite wonky last night, and I really want it to look good so that I actually wear it. So I'm going to start that over, and yeah. I also have this one that I think I'm going to sew onto a hat or something for my partner because he likes Stellar's J's. So that is coming down the line. For some reason, the hats are really hard to grip too. So this is going to be interesting. Okay. Let's just tie these strings together for our basting stitch. Make sure it's nice and snug, yeah. Okay, I think that that'll do. Just so that it doesn't wiggle too much. Okay, let's get our thread going. Updates. I'm taping the brim back because my stitches are going into it. So I'm just gonna put some tape like that, I guess. At least while I'm doing this portion. And then I did add some stitching up here already because he was starting to get a little wonky, even though I did the basting stitch. So there's some stitches up there to kind of hold him down until I get around to that side. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep plugging along. I'm down here now, and gonna make it all the way around. Okay, I am all done. I think I'm going to go get the black thread and just go over the little tail, not the tail, go over the little bit at the top there to make sure that it looks black and neat. And then I will go ahead and show you everything that we've completed. Okay, I have my items in front of me, so I'm going to go ahead and try them on and show you how everything turned out. First up we have the pants. So there's the one side, there's the other. Yeah, I'll do close-ups so you can see. And next I'll put on the shirt. I really like the way this turned out. Pretty good color. It looks a lot darker when it's wet, so I'm actually really pleased with the color that it turned out. There's that. And then I'm going to put on this guy. So in this video we added buttons to it, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that on. Unbutton the button so we have it kind of open, or I can do it all the way up if I want. Yeah, and I did make this. I don't have a video for it, but I definitely want to continue to make things, and I'm really pleased with how this came out. And last but not least, we have our little hat. So here's the little friend. And the hat looks a lot more green on camera than it is in real life. It's much more like slate blue colored. But yeah, here's the whole thing. And that brings us to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If you like to see this type of content and you'd like to see more videos from me, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. You can also follow my art journey over on Instagram at @thecozyartist. And yeah, that's it for this one. I will see you in the next one.